When you hear the rhythm, start to move.
Hi everyone, welcome to Shameless Careers, a podcast whose mission is to help people find careers they're passionate about. Today, my guest is Mariia. Mariia was building a successful career as a lawyer in Russia, at first at the Russian Central Bank and then at the top Russian neobank Tinkoff. However, over time, she got somewhat disillusioned with the law career path and started to slowly realize that she wants to do something that's closer to the business, closer to the end product, and something that ultimately has more impact. However, while all these ideas started to occur, Mariia was hesitant to make this jump. After all, she had an established career that was going quite well, and she had a very comfortable life. But some things happened. In February 2022, Mariia and her husband had to urgently leave Russia due to fears that Russian borders will be shut down and young men will be mobilized. And this move became that trigger point that prompted Mariia to reassess her career and finally make the pivot that she wanted to do. So, Mariia, thank you so much for being here with me today. And I can't wait to ask you everything about what was your original idea and vision of the law career? Why did you get disillusioned? How did you figure out what you wanted to do next? And of course, what did you learn about how transferable your skills are? So, let's start. Let's start from the very, very beginning. So you are starting in your career in law. You have some vision and expectation that it's going to be amazing. Can you tell me more about it? So what prompted you to originally choose law career path?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Vari, for having me here today. I'm really delighted. So, to be honest, when I started my bachelor's in law, I didn't have a clear vision of what is the career is going to be. I had a vision from TV series or Legally Blonde, when you're doing really good things, you're helping innocent people in a really nice suit. So I was so delulu about the legal career, to be honest. And but of course, when I was in uni, I started to understand more, and then I realized that the best thing to do is probably to have a corporate career because it gives you a lot of opportunities. And at that time, before I started it, it seemed like it's going to be really interesting, breathtaking, and you're going to be so smart, successful, and it all is very charming when you're a student and you've never tried doing any of this.
Okay, cool. So it was a cool, prestigious career path. And at that point, once you have left university and you started working at EY, what was the reality like? How did it match or not match the expectation that you had?
Yeah, so to be honest, it didn't match my expectations at all because I thought that there's going to be a place for my creativity, for, my knowledge and so on. But in real life, I understood that there is only a place for an effort because you have to work a lot. Your tasks are pretty routine. And so, of course, there are really good things you can learn, especially working with Excel or PowerPoint and so on, some basic stuff which you have to know to be successful. But to be honest, there was no work-life balance because you have to work crazy hours and it's not that interesting. I understand when you are really passionate about something and it gives you a lot of energy and satisfaction and you're ready to work crazy hours. But when it's very boring and routine stuff, it's not inspiring. And I realized that it's not what I'm looking for in my life. And I don't want to spend all my youth sitting at the office and doing something, I don't know, not exciting.
Right. And this is where I believe the Central Bank of Russia comes into the picture. And obviously you have shifted your career there afterwards. Can you tell me what was your vision of this career path then? So you thought, okay, you are not into this routine, boring work that you had at EY. What did you expect from the central bank career path? What made you excited about this next move?
Yeah, so it was amazing time. Like these 3 years were like truly dreamful because it was really close to my first expectations of legal career. I guess every law student knows this. That law is the art of goodness and fairness. And to be honest, when I was starting my career at Central Bank, I felt like I'm doing something like that. And I was really lucky because when I joined Central Bank, I had a perfect management team. Everyone was so inspired and so involved into this that I was like immediately inspired by these people and by the function because not to go too deep into details, but my division was basically bylaws which you need to issue, and so all the banks in Russia has to follow these bylaws. And so I really felt an impact of my job, and even on the entry level, you're able to do all these things from the beginning. So you're doing something from scratch, and then you see I don't know, half a year after that this is a real bylaw, and everyone has to, every bank has to obey it. So it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it sounds like what motivates you, as you're talking about it now, is this feeling of impact, that you do something and it affects some bigger picture of afterwards. And okay, so you're at the central bank, and I believe you spent more than 3 years there, and you progressed in your career. You became senior legal counsel, correct?
Yeah.
And after that, you have pivoted to corporate world, right? To the Russian neobank Tinkoff, which is like a top Russian neobank. Can you tell me, so how did the shift happen? So you are super excited at the central bank, you are driving this big impact, but clearly something was missing that made you consider a corporate career path. How did that pivot happen?
Yeah, so to describe this, I guess I have to mention two things. First, that I was there, I was very happy. It was very warm and comfort place. But I was thinking maybe I should try something else, maybe to come back later to Central Bank. But just to understand how market works, how this product works, and so on. Because we're issuing something, and in theory I understand how it works, but I have no idea of real life. I mean, in terms of banking and finance, because I've never tried something like this before, and I thought that it could be really interesting experience for me, and it was truly amazing opportunity. And I decided that maybe I need to try this, but I wasn't really sure. But then our management has changed, and so the new manager I had, she her vision was quite different from mine, and I realized that it's now it's gonna work in a different way. All the the vibe has changed.
Yes.
And I was maybe it's a sign that I need to try something else, and so I did.
Okay, so now you are at Tinkoff Bank. Can you tell me, what was this experience like? You got closer to the real economy. Did it meet your expectations?
I would say that it did, but to be honest, I started to be more interested in product itself than in legal stuff. Because when I was at central bank, legal function was like quite, I would say, independent, because literally we were issuing bylaws, and like it's very important what's written there. And when I joined Tinkoff, I understood that legal function is actually like back office. It's not like in a frontier. So and I was involved in a lot of meetings with product team, with IT team, and I realized that it's more interesting, to be honest, than like reading a contract or like I don't know, drafting some documents. And I started to be really interested about it. But I wasn't sure whether I'm good enough, whether I have right skills and experience. And I was worrying about my education, that I have like a legal degree. And I guess in Russia it's not very like common to switch your career straight ahead and without like any additional education and so on. So I was puzzled, like, you know, with what to do. And I have this, you know, subliminal thing that maybe it's time for me to move on. But honestly, I didn't have enough courage to do it.
Okay, and then obviously February 2022 happens. You and your husband have to leave Russia. Can you tell me first of all, how did it feel coming to a new country, kind of leaving your job behind? And also, why was this trigger point that prompted you to actually make this career switch?
Yeah, so it was truly hard time for me because, to be honest, the career was not the first thing which I was concerned about, because you don't know where you're gonna live, you don't know what you're gonna do. Like, it's unknown world, it's unknown country, and you have no information whatsoever about your like future life. You don't know your prospects, you don't know anything, because like back in Russia I had like quite clear vision of like what's next. But like all these changes, it was really scary. And yeah, after like a few months, I started to calm down and think about like what's next for me in terms of career. Now we're like settling down. We have like a nice apartment. I know the pharmacies, the groceries, and so on. So it was like kind of back to normal. And I started to think that maybe now destiny is giving me a sign that I don't need to do law anymore, because I already have some doubts, and it's a nice opportunity for me to try something else.
And how did you think about transferability of your skills? And the reason why I'm asking this is a lot of people who are on certain career tracks think that their skill set is narrow and is only suitable for this particular career track. Did you experience something like this yourself? Did you have any doubts whether you will be able to transfer your skills somewhere else?
Indeed, I had, and it was very challenging because I wasn't sure that with my Russian education, with my Russian career experience, I can offer something to this market. And so it took me some time to realize that some of my skills are not about law, but about like soft skills, about communication, about ability to learn, and so on. And I realized that it is valuable in like anywhere in any country. And so it really helps when you try to kind of take a step back and think about what you can offer, and then you actually feel more energized and more confident in what you can offer.
Right. So basically, the advice for people who think that they're only suitable for one track is almost like to look at their skill set a bit more broadly, right? That it's not just about the content and subject matter knowledge, but it's about, to your point, like soft skills that may be applicable to any path, right?
Yeah, of course, and I understand that it could be quite frustrating and challenging to to give up everything you have in terms of like career track and like very clear career path, and do something new and try something new. But it's important to concentrate on your like strong suits, because I mean, all of us have them. It's important to analyze yourself and build your confidence.
And you also mentioned to me, and I would love to touch upon this topic, that the interview process is very different in the UK, as you have learned, versus Russia. And I want to bring up this point because some people who may be listening to this episode are also thinking about shifting and relocating to another market. And it may be surprising to them that actually interview practices in different countries may be very, very different. So can you tell me about your experience of interviewing back in the day in Russia versus the UK? What was the main difference?
So for me, the main difference was that in Russia, you're more concentrating on hard skills. However, in the UK, you're concentrating on soft skills. And I was so surprised when, like, during the interview, I had this, like, at that time, very strange questions for me, but now I understand that they're like pretty normal. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What was the most challenging situation in your career, and so on? And I was like, why are you asking me this?
No one asked me that in Russia.
yeah, because like in Russia, it's all about like hard skills, and so it took me some time to switch my mindset to this new interviewing model, and of course it requires some time to like you need to watch like YouTube videos, you need to like read some guidelines. There are tons of them on the internet, so it's not a big problem, but you just have to be prepared that it's actually no mean feat, like to do all of these like things in a new country. So you have to do a proper research before doing interview to avoid disappointment, or you can learn on your own mistakes. It also works.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Makes sense, yeah. And so at that point, you have realized basically that your skills are more transferable than you thought. Can you tell me which areas did you end up considering for your future career path and for your next step?
Yeah, so I understood that there are some things which I can do without, any additional education. And to be honest, I was sure that my legal skills could help me with it, even though there could not be like applicable straight ahead, but I'm very comfortable with reading documents. I'm very comfortable with like working with a lot of data, and I thought that maybe like project management or contract management could be my area of interest, because it's again it's closer to commercial.
Which we remember was something that you discovered is important for you, right?
That's correct. But my soft skills and some of my legal skills could be also applicable here. So I thought that it might be a good combination for me. And I started to look at different sectors, different areas, and I ended up with oil and gas, which is brand new for me because I always used to work in like banking and finance. So it's a very interesting journey.
And before we go into what you're doing now and why you are enjoying it, one more topic I wanted to touch upon is the conversion program that your company has offered. And I think it would be very useful for people who are listening to this episode to know that such thing exists, because I think it's particularly helpful for people who want to pivot into a completely new area. So can you tell me a bit more about what was this conversion program that your company offered about and how it helped you transition into the new role?
So yes, you're right. It was an amazing opportunity for me because my company offered this program for people with previous experience in different areas, who can convert their skills into new area. And because this area is very specific, there were I guess around 10 people with me on this program, and we all had 4 weeks training when we were introduced to subsea and
Sorry, what subsea?
Subsea area of oil and gas.
Oh, right. Okay, so the area which you were joining. Yeah.
Sorry. So we had a lot of trainings regarding subsea structures, regarding how the business works, because it's very specific, and of course there are very interesting aspects which you has to know before you start your journey here. And and it was also very good networking opportunity for me, because when you're joining this new company in new industry, it's a little bit hard for you to make new connections and so on. But due to this program, we all are great friends now, and it helps you to ensure that you're smoothly incorporating into this new world.
Cool. Yes, and maybe the lesson learned for people who may be listening to this is that if you want to transition in the new area, watch out where the companies are offering such conversion programs, because it may be helpful for you if you want to transfer yourself from a completely different career path. Cool. So let's move to where you are right now. Can you tell me what type of company you're working for? What's your role? And importantly, why are you enjoying it? So how does it link to all your aspirations, visions, and ambitions that we've discussed just now?
Yeah, so the company I'm working at now is Subsea 7. It's construction company for subsea oil and gas. So it's very interesting. It's brand new for me, and I'm in contract management now. I'm contract engineer. So
and actually here, can you tell me what is contract management for those people who are not familiar with that space?
Yeah, sure. So the contract manager has to ensure that everything on the project is going by the book, by the contract, because the projects we're working are very complex, and so the duration is up to 5 years sometimes, and so you have a lot of documentation, and contract manager has to check whether we are in line with our obligations first. Then we have a lot of things happening on the project which are different from the base case, and contract manager, contract specialist has to make sure that we will reflect all the costs, everything which is new into the contract, and we need to collaborate with different teams like engineering team, supply supply chain management team to be sure that we are all on the same page. Contract manager also like has to communicate with the client officially, because it's very important from legal and contractual standpoint that everything is recorded. And we work a lot with our suppliers, with vendors, obviously with client. So there are a lot of things which you have to manage, and you are linking different departments, and you are working on the reflecting everything on a paper, basically. So.
Right, and you can clearly see how your previous skill set linked to the law career are like very much used here, as well as soft skills that you were referring to. But at the same time, it looks like a very commercially oriented function. So it also kind of satisfies your aspiration that you've had back then to be closer to the business side. And can you tell me what type of projects you're working on?
Yeah, so currently I'm working on transportation and installation project. So we are supposed to transport the pipes and other subsea structures and
for oil and pipes for oil, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And install them on a seabed, and so it's very challenging operation, and it's amazing when I saw the videos how it's actually performed, because it's so complex and it is so difficult thing to do, and I'm really proud of being part of this. I understand that I'm not installing it myself, but I still take part in the process of supporting it from contractual standpoint, and it's so inspiring.
And can you tell me a bit more about that? So we have started with you wanting to drive impact in a bigger sense within your law career, right? Then you have realized that you wanted to be closer to the real world. You wanted to drive more more commercial impact within and be closer to the business side of things. So, and the way even you're speaking about your job right now is you're clearly enjoying what you're doing. Can you tell me kind of what makes you excited about it, and what have you found in this role what you didn't have previously?
Yeah, so I guess the most inspiring part is that I'm actually part of like something big and something important, because after all, there is going to be like gas or oil, and we all need it because we want to sit in a warm house during the winter time. I mean, like, we all need this, and I really enjoying being a part of something big. And I also love like my current tasks, because it looks more like investigation for me, because I need to understand what like engineers are actually talking about, how it's going to impact us from a commercial standpoint, from risk standpoint, because there are obviously some risks we need to mitigate. And in order to understand it, I need to understand how this thing works, because I don't know, 2 years ago, I didn't know that Christmas tree could be not a type of, I don't know, pine, but it's a subsea structure, and that pigs are not like pretty animals, but actually pre-commissioning equipment. So there are so many new things I have to learn every day, and it's very inspiring.
So now that you're doing what you're doing, can you tell me, could you have ever imagined back in the day when you started your law career that you would be doing this and enjoying it a lot?
I had no idea, to be honest, and I could not imagine it ever. And I realized that I actually feel very good and comfortable now in this new sphere, new area. Of course, there are tons of things I need to learn, and I'm still a newbie there. But when you're around 30s and you have something new to learn, it's very inspiring, it's very rewarding, and I really like this feeling when you come to work and you learn something every day. And I would really recommend to those who are in doubt about it to do this switch, because it's rewarding. It is.
And so what advice would you give to people who are thinking about switching their careers based on all the experiences that you've had in this process?
Do it. No, I mean, it's really hard to make this decision, especially when you have like secure, stable position, and you all your friends, all your like university mates seems having like a great career and like very stable life, and you're just, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? I don't know. Like, is it okay? Like, you're worrying about like other people who could judge you. You're worrying about like the potential failures and so on. But you have just one life, and you have to do the best of it. I mean, if not now, then I guess never, because if you have this kind of thoughts, meaning that you're subconsciously, I guess, have already made this decision, and you just need to have enough like courage and maybe time to pursue with it.
And what advice would you give to your younger self?
Don't be shy, because I was extremely shy back then, and I thought that oh my God, I'm gonna fail. It is so scary to ask a question. It is so scary to try something else. I have to stick to like the path I choose and so on. But nowadays, I guess it's important to try as much things as you can in order to understand what is inspiring for you, what keeps you interested, what keeps you busy in a good way, what helps you to to overcome the frustration and so on. So don't be shy and go for it.
And exactly to your point, even with your career, it's clear that you have tried different things. They were almost mini experiments, which made you understand what really motivates you, and in the end got you closer to what you actually want to do and what gives you energy. And can you tell me, what do you think about the role of passion and purpose in people's careers? Is passion important? Is purpose important? And if yes, what is the purpose for you?
I'm sure it is important, because without passion, you cannot be motivated to do it like several years in a row. I think that the purpose can change and the passion can change, and it's normal. We have to, I guess, we have to embrace ourselves and like do not be rigid and say, okay, this is my passion, I'm gonna do it for the rest of my life. I guess there are some people who can say that and who could truly do this, but I'm not sure it's who I am. And I think that in a bigger perspective, we need to understand what is the purpose for us. For example, for me, the purpose is doing something good and be part of something bigger. Because for me, doing something bigger, something important for our like day-to-day life, is motivating, and I don't know where I'm gonna be in 10 years, to be honest, but I'm happy with the role I have now, and I'm quite happy with the purpose I have.
And can you tell me about a book or a TED Talk or any YouTube video that has made an impression on you and that you would recommend to others who are thinking about career change?
Yeah, sure. So I really love the TED Talk by Larry Smith. He's very motivational, and he's not saying you that you have to follow your passion. He's actually doing it vice versa. So I would really recommend you to watch it and to get some inspiration if you're in doubt whether you have to do this career switch or not. And
so if it's not passion, what is it?
You will see.
Okay. Yes, I will look
Find
for it
out,
after our recording. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice, and the book, it's not very classical thing to recommend, because I guess everyone on the podcast recommending non-fiction literature, but I would really recommend to read Pnin by Nabokov, and it is so heartwarming book, and especially for people who move to another country. But it's also about passion and doing what you like, and even for those who have difficulties, whether with a new language and so on. You should read this book, and it's so good.
Thank you so much. Mariia, where can people find you?
LinkedIn. Let's share the link in the
Yeah, we'll
description
share
box.
it in the comments.
Yeah.
Amazing. Mariia, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure, and I cannot thank you enough for doing this, because I really enjoy watching the videos you recorded, and it gives me a lot of energy and inspiration on day-to-day basis.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Well, that's because people like you are open to come here and share their experience with everyone who may benefit from it. So thank you.
Thank you.